Blade reboot has just been announced, and in the title role of Blade is two-time Oscar winner Mahershala Ali. He seems to be a right fit for the role. He does look like, how we expect Blade to look like. He has a resemblance. He could even pass for Wesley Snipes' brother. The Wesley Snipes, of course, the original one to play the role in 3 films. Say what you want about part 3, but I liked what 1 and 2. Part 3 was okay, but yeah, definitely I see why people did not like the last one. But it was time for a reboot, time to reimagine it and bring it into the MCU. And Mahershala Ali, I will definitely say, would do a good job. Wesley Snipes, I read and actually saw a title to a article that read that Wesley Snipes was okay with the casting of Mahershala Ali, and pretty much you can see he's giving his blessing to the actor. Wesley Snipes is 56 years old, and someone like him isn't old because he's always active, he's always training. Guy's a multi-martial art expert. He knows a whole lot of different styles, and that's why it was very, very authentic when you would see him in action roles, from films like Rising Sun, Demolition Man, the Blade films, of course, where he would display his martial arts skill. There's films that he wouldn't, and pretty much he was acting that spoke for him. He was in New Jack City playing Nino Brown, and probably one of his well-known roles, and one of the roles that a lot of people felt, and I remember feeling the same way, that he should have got an Oscar nomination. That was really quite a performance, and really, really showed just what he can do when he gets a real nice, villain role, an evil role, and it was really, really a good movie too as well. A very, very good film, and he has his acting chops, so he can go either way, just with his acting or doing action. And I think that Rising Sun was where you really saw his authentic, real, skill that he had. Because in Demolition Man, he did a lot of posing and gesturing when he would do his martial arts, and it kind of looked like he was trained. He wasn't a real martial artist the way he did his moves. But then when I remember, and I'm just saying for myself, when I saw him in Rising Sun, a film that also had Sean Connery in it, he really showed his what he can do. He went up against a legendary martial artist, Fumio Demura and Tadashi Yamashita, and you go against those two legends in martial arts and are able to hold your own. You definitely got you definitely prove that you belong, and you're definitely a true action star. Say what you want about other guys out there. Some people don't believe that guys that are in films, martial arts films, from the past and the present, some of them get flack. Some of the people nowadays, people that think that they're right, and they have a platform of talking, on social media and all that stuff, will put down martial artists like Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal, even Bruce Lee. People doubting if, especially Bruce Lee. It's like people are doubting that, he was a real martial artist, that some people call him he was just an actor. And I'm like, no. There's plenty of proof to show that, I think he's legit. Okay. But going back to Wesley Snipes, the original Blade film was, very, very a different type of film. It's a film that we never saw anything like that before. We see a story about half vampire, half human, where you know Blade's mom gets attacked by a vampire and is impregnated, and then of course Blade is born, and then we see him in there with Chris Christopherson, who plays Whistler. Stephen Dorff played the villain, and it's revealed that he's the one that actually impregnated his mom, and that actually he was Blade's father. If I remember correctly, I believe that's the story. Been a long time since I've seen Blade, and I'll look at it again, cause just to see if it still holds up, and I'm pretty sure it does. Part 2, I believe that's with Ron Perlman was in that one. And then part 3, the only person I remember in that film is Triple H, the pro wrestler. He was one of the henchmen, a guy. He had like a little poodle with him, or a dog, and the dog opened his mouth and had all these teeth, like vampire teeth. I remember that scene. But for those of you people who are poo-pooing this and going, it sucks because Wesley Snipes isn't back, but if you have Wesley Snipes giving the blessing and the approval to Mahershala Ali as the new Blade, then it's in good hands. Wesley Snipes is not one of them guys that's going to complain and bitch and moan that how come he's not back in that role. There's some people that, even like Adam West, who was complaining that he wasn't in Batman, the original Batman in 89. And how old is he at that time? Maybe 60 at that time? I think he'd be a little bit too old to play that role, you know what I mean? But, with Wesley Snipes' blessing, definitely is a go, man. And it's like, we just need to see, what he does and how he does in the role. Well, y'all need to see, because I won't be watching it. Like I said, and it's unfortunate, but I'm holding and I'm sticking true to what I've said, is that I will not watch anything backed by Disney. And Disney purchased Marvel and the film division, and they're behind it, and I'm not gonna have anything to do with it. But I wish Mahershala Ali the best, and hopefully this film will further branch him out and make him a megastar. Guy already has 2 Oscar nominations. I don't know how long he's been acting. I don't think a long time, and he already got 2 Oscar winners, Oscar wins. I think I said nominees, right? But 2 Oscar wins, So he definitely is on the rise, and why not put him in this film? Why not put him in any of the films? As one of the stars of his upcoming films in the MCU, Phase 4. I don't know if this was. I believe this is going to be part of Phase 4. He'll be included in the MCU. And to me, he'll definitely be a good fit for the role, and just give him a chance, I guess. Just basically just sit back and watch, and see what happens to the film and where it's gonna go, what stories that are gonna they're gonna grab from the comics, or are they going to come up with an original story, and we'll wait and see. And maybe Wesley and even Chris Christopherson, some of these others will make returns to the series as other characters, of course. I said that why not make Wesley Snipes the Whistler character, take over that role and be a mentor, or he can come back as Blade, elderly, Blade that is, because he's half human, so he's probably losing his ability to live long, as a vampire, and that part of him is probably dying off, and he's becoming more human. And then he trains Mahershala Ali, and Mahershala Ali will become the new Blade, the next Blade, at the end of the film. And then the next film, he's fully Blade. But that's up to the writers and whatever they're going to do, and whatever they do, that's up to them. And well, that's just my thoughts on this whole thing of Mahershala Ali being casted as as the next Blade. And like I said, he's got the blessing and the approval of Wesley Snipes, the original Blade, so can't go wrong with that. Well, those of you who stopped by and checked out my video, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And in closing, as always, take care.